The US these days in politics, regardless of what side of the fence you're on, it doesn't matter in this conversation, but a lot of people in the US are making fun of child-free by choice people.
Mm.
They're pressuring people to have children right now. In fact, the Trump administration is actually trying to create incentives for women to have children. And it's almost like they're trying to push this narrative and this idea when in fact science shows that we are severely overpopulated on our planet. And also the studies have shown, I really recommend the book Regretting Motherhood, a Study, which you've seen, hun.
Yeah.
We've read it together. I really recommend getting it. I'll include the link here if you want to read that book. But it's interesting how we know the stats, we know the facts, we know the statistics of a lot of women are very happy with their child-free by choice, that those who decide to be children-free are more fulfilled. They feel more sense of purpose, actually. They have more friends. They're more connected to their communities. They travel more. They have more money and also more spaciousness and freedom in their lives because they have more security. We know this. We know that child-free by choice people are very happy. And yet the narrative in politics in the US is it's almost like they are making us out to be unfulfilled because we don't have kids, that we don't have a sense of driving passion or purpose, that we don't have a connection to God simply because we've decided not to be mothers as women, that it's part of our biological DNA that we should want to be parents and that there's something wrong with us if we don't. That is something that the administration right now, currently, the politics in the US right now, this growing movement is saying about people. What are your thoughts on that, my husband? Child-free by choice husband here, Alex. What do you think about all this?
Yeah, well, I think that, I get this impression that there is an implication or an assumption that you should want to have kids. And either you want to have kids or you don't know that you want to have kids. It's like that's the implication or the assumption. I feel it's very odd. Nobody's pushed that on me directly, but I see it around me with others. And any time that I mention this casually to friends or colleagues, they say, "Oh, right, but not yet," right? I'm like, no, I don't. And so I think right now, you mentioned the Trump administration, a lot of countries around the world have this movement that they want to repopulate. And for some places like maybe Korea or Japan, where the birth rates really are going down a lot, I can sort of see an incentive or a drive to want to encourage to bolster that population. Pretty sure the US has plenty of people. I mean, it's a big country. I don't know why the Trump administration really is wanting people to have more kids. I feel like we have plenty of people as it is already, and all the problems that come with having such a big population, housing and resources and land and all these things that are being scarce now, those come with problems of overpopulation. So to encourage people to have more people, I don't know why, other than the fact that maybe having more Americans makes the country strong, but I don't agree. I don't think it necessarily that's the case. I mean, maybe more people results in more military, but is that really what we want? Are those our values? Won't we all be better for it if we have less people? Or what about adoption? I feel like we have enough people on the planet as it is, and I think we really don't need to add to it. And I still think it's a personal choice. So if people want to have a child, by all means, they should. It's their right, especially if it's their bodies. It's their right. They can want to have a child or two or three if they want. But I really, like you're doing now, I think we should encourage people to not be afraid to not have kids.
Mm-hmm.
That it's good for the environment, it's good for society, and it can be very good and bring a lot of satisfaction and happiness to the people who choose not to have kids.
Yeah. And I think that making videos like these and showing people online that are searching for these topics of child-free by choice, am I making the right decision? Am I not? Seeing two people who are happily married and don't have kids, don't have any plans to have kids, happily living their dream lives. I think there's something really nice to see other people doing that too, and that you're not alone.
It's almost like you see people who don't want to have kids. It gives them permission. Like, okay, I'm not crazy. I'm not alone.
Yeah. And, I got to say, I have a lot of friends, family, people in my life that are having kids right now. And I do feel left out. I am 31 now, and I'm really starting to feel excluded out of that world, that life chapter, that era that humans go through, this milestone in life. And for me, I feel less alone when I see my favorite creator or that person I've looked up to for over 10 years on the internet, her and her husband, happily married, loving their lives, don't have children, don't have any plans to have kids. She's 40 now, and she's been going on the internet saying that, I don't know if I want kids, I'm not sure. And seeing that, just expanders, people who are living what I want to, it makes me feel like, yeah, this is normal. I'm not crazy. Everyone around me may want children and say it's the most fulfilling thing in their life to be parents, but there are other real people not doing that. I always think of Samantha Jones or Carrie Bradshaw as like fictional expanders, but they're not real. They're not real people. It's a TV show. They're characters. So I don't find as much relatability with those stories and movies and TV shows and books. Yeah. But when I say real people, real creators, real people sharing their lives, bloggers, all of that, YouTubers talking about this and showing their life and what they do every day, it makes me feel not alone as a child-free by choice person that is happily fulfilled. However, the pressure is real on women. The pressure around us to have children is real, no matter how convicted you are, no matter how sure and certain you are about your life and what you want and your values. The pressure is always there. As an example, the woman that lives in our building asking me, when are you going to have kids? How long have you been together? Right? Those kinds of questions. The looking at me, the questions in my comments, the people wondering, and then seeing everyone else in my age group have kids, it does make you feel like, am I crazy? Like, am I the only person that doesn't want to have kids? Like, am I nuts? Am I going to regret this decision? But seeing real life people know their path and not only say that, but live it, act as breathing examples of all the things you could do in your life if you choose not to have kids, all the passion projects, the hobbies, the trips, the things that you could be doing with all that free time, the books you can read. I always say there's never enough books you could read in this life. There's not enough hobbies to explore. I could live in Wikipedia reading about all these people in history and the time periods and understanding what was happening then. I'm obsessed with knowledge. I have so much time to learn and read and do all that because I made this choice. And by seeing people like us, I hope that this inspires other people.
I hope so too. It's really important that we have, it's almost like it creates like a community of people who have kids and people who don't have kids. And of course they can intermingle, but it's important that people who don't have kids say, yeah, I'm one of many, and this is a common lifestyle choice. I'm not an outlier. And it's reassuring to see other people get it, like I feel like a lot of people feel like they want to have kids and they like to find other people that get wanting to have kids. And that's fine. But there should be people who don't want to have kids and get it, and have other people that also don't want to have kids, and they come together and they're like, I'm glad that I'm able to have this lifestyle. I'm grateful for the life that I live and the choices I've made.
If you'd like more child-free by choice content, we've got a ton of videos for you. Check out the Child-Free by Choice playlist and follow me over on Instagram at Ms. Helena Woods. My husband and I live in Paris. We're from the United States, and we are sharing our lives, living in Paris, living our dream life, me as an astrologer, him as a teacher and an entrepreneur. And we're happy to have you here. Comment the baby emoji if you've made it all the way to the end of this video. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more updates.